Yo, so let's talk about some stuff. It's Monday, November 7th, and this is also going to cover the other day, which was Thursday. It was Thursday the 3rd, and I don't think I made a video that day. I haven't made one in a couple days, but basically recording consoles that day, I think we talked about time-based processors in lecture. And in lab we covered advanced signal flow, and basically what that had to do with was like we did subgrouping, and then we also basically took that subgrouping, so you have your 8 channels for your subgroups, and then you can route those to your short faders or long faders, and I mean it gets tricky. It can get tricky, but you basically just use the patch bay. It's no problem. And then we also learned how to calibrate the console using the built-in oscillator. So that was pretty neat. Nothing too difficult. I think we have the practical coming up on Thursday, I do believe, Thursday night, or Friday morning if you prefer to look at it that way. Today, so that was day. Let's see. That was day 8 of month number 5, I think it is, and it was alright. I had the test. Friday I had off, and then Saturday I had a lot going on Saturday. First off, I had the recording consoles test, and the test was only 50 questions. It was half the length that the microphone test was, so that was, I was feeling really good about the recording consoles test. It was super easy, and we had to do the signal flow, like freehand it for extra credit, and like I totally nailed that, no problem. So I'm feeling pretty good about the tests and everything, at least in that class. The practical is going to be no problem. I just got to take it one thing at a time, and gosh, I don't know. So yeah, the test was on Saturday. I was feeling really good about it because I studied hard on Friday. After that, so I live all the way up near the Full Sail campus, and I took my bike all the way to downtown Orlando to check out the Occupy Orlando stuff, to see what that was all about. And I found a little site, and it was pretty cool. They had some people playing music. It was like a small concert, and they had all their signs and stuff. And it wasn't as big as I had expected. Like, I've seen the videos from New York, and I kind of expected downtown to be total just chaos that day, but it really wasn't. But I stayed for a little while. I showed and showed my support and everything. It was all good. And then I came home a completely different way than I got there. I can't believe I rode my bike down there, and I rode my bike all the way back. And that was tiring. Like, I hadn't had any food hardly on Friday, hadn't had anything to eat on Saturday. I was low on some energy. So I stopped at a 7-Eleven, and I got some bananas, and I met this homeless guy or something, and I hooked him up with a banana, because he was pretty nice. And then I made it all the way home, which was over 10 miles. So I probably rode over 20 miles that day on the bike, going downtown and back. And with going downtown, that also includes around downtown, trying to find the area that the Occupy operation was going down, which it was in Senator Beth Johnson Park or something like that. Anyhow, it was like I said, it was alright. Made it home, took a shower, and then I headed over to my boy Darian's house for his 21st birthday party. And that was fun. I had a good time. He released his mixtape and everything that night, so that was cool. And yesterday, on Sunday, I had to finish my microphone homework that, by the way, I forgot to email it. I finished it, and then I ended up going to bed, and I forgot to email it. So this morning I woke up and shot an email. I was like, I'm sorry for turning it in late. It was an honest mistake, all that, the blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Just being professional about it, being upfront. There's nothing I could do about it anyway, so I might as well just tell him I fell asleep and forgot to turn it in. That's what happened, That assignment was pretty much the same thing as the first one, where we had to write 10 sentences per example, except this time instead of 4 examples there were 7, so there was a few more, and it wasn't about the microphone types, but it was about microphone placement. So it was slightly different, but nothing too bad. So that was day 8. I guess you crunch those couple days down into one day. I mean, the recording consoles class lab was pretty fun. I didn't stay as late on that Thursday night or Friday morning. It was 1 to 5, so technically it's Friday morning. But yeah, I didn't stay as late that time. I left it. So we started at 1. I left maybe an hour into it, so we all left around 2:15 or so, 2:30. And like, keep that on the down low, because like Full Sail people aren't really supposed to know that, but I mean, I'm trying to keep it real here, you know. So we got out of the lab pretty early that night, so I didn't stay long. Today was a microphone and theory lecture and lab, and we discussed stereo miking techniques, and we also discussed field miking techniques. And I took a lot. I took loads of notes today because I was just like, you know, I might as well just write everything. Because like I find it whenever I don't write, because we're not allowed to have the computers out. And usually what I do with the computers, I'll have the PowerPoint open and I'll follow along with the PowerPoint. But my instructor doesn't let us have the computers out. So you have to take what he likes to call analog notes, which kind of cracks me up. But anyway, so I just started writing everything down. Even though I knew I had the slides, I was like, you know, I find myself, I get bored if I'm just listening and watching. So, and it's not like it's bored, but like, because the stuff is interesting and I'm intrigued in it, but it's harder to stay, you know, zoned in. So I figure if I'm writing everything. So I just started writing stuff. I took like 3 full pages of notes. But I do have all the slides and stuff off of Propeller. So let's see here. This is the wrong folder. There we go. So today was stereo miking techniques. Let's see. So we covered like kind of the history of it. Like there's this thing called the theater phone or something. And it's this thing that looks like a hookah, and basically like you have to hold these things up to your ears. I mean, you used them way back in the day. And then we talked about all the different types. So you have your coincident pairs, your near coincident pairs, and then the last one is your spaced pairs, and then you also have your baffled pairs, as well as you have your different microphone arrays with that, and you'll have like your Deca tree, your Fukada tree, etc. So we checked out a lot of different ways to set up microphone, like stereo miking techniques, you know, how to get surround sound, how to get the left and right channels. There's this really cool thing called a sound field mic, and it's basically this microphone, but it's like a ball. It's it's got 4 large diaphragm capsules that are set up in a tetrahedral arrangement. So it's pretty cool looking. And then after that, we discussed sound field mics, which is pretty cool. Like there's this one called the holophone mic that looks pretty sick nasty. So I mean, lecture pretty much took up the whole 4 hours today. Like they usually should, but they don't, because we get through this stuff pretty quick. I figure if more people had questions, then it would last longer. But nobody usually asks questions because they want to get out of there. But today's lecture took a long time because we went and for the first half we took a break and then came back and we went for a full hour, and then we still had the short lecture on the field microphones, which basically you have different types of field microphone recording. Like one of the big ones is bioacoustic research, like nature, like going into a jungle and just recording the jungle sounds or whatever. You can also have documentary and journalism, which kind of ties along in with another one, which is the film or TV production. You also have radio and audio post-production, so audio post. And then you also have 4 different types of microphones in the field. You have your parabolic systems, your shotgun mics, your matched pairs, and your stereo mics. The parabolic system is the one with the big dish, and you'll find it, like, if you're a football fan, you'll probably see the parabolic dishes on the sidelines. Those are the guys that usually seem to get hit a lot by the football or whatever. Shotgun mics are basically your standard boom mics that you'll find on film sets, or like on top of the camera. Like if you watch Cops or whatever, they got the shotgun mic on top of the camera. And those things are really light. We'll get to that here in a second. Oh, and we also talked about binaural mics today too. Like there's, I think it was Neumann made this microphone. It was basically a model of a human head in the ears. The sound would go in the ears and hit 2 Omni mics, and that was basically like the eardrums, which is pretty neat. But yeah, so that was lecture today. It was pretty interesting and stuff, seeing all the different ways you can get this stuff. And we're expected to know all the different types of, like the setups of the stereo miking techniques. That's going to be our next practical for the microphone lab. Is we have to basically, they're going to ask us, we'll set up set up this kind of array, like set up, I don't know. See, I don't even know. What's a good one? Like set up an XY mic setup, or set up a stereosonic format or whatever. So I got to study up on that. And then let's see. And then lab today was a lot of fun. Probably the most active lab we've had. We actually took field mics and went outside and listened to stuff. So we had the shotgun mic, and then we also had a parabolic mic to start with, and we used those for the first, how long did we go for? Like hour and 45 minutes. We were outside and walking around buildings 1 and 2 just listening to crap. And we had this worksheet, and it was kind of like a scavenger hunt, but with microphones. It was kind of, like I said, kind of like a scavenger hunt. Like we had to find a bunch of different sounds and put where we found them and take notes on it, like, what did it sound like, or what can we compare it to, or things like that. Basically, you could say that we were gathering Foley sounds or whatever for like a, how do you say, it's a sound effect library. Basically, like we had to find car engine noises, car rolling over gravel, a car accelerating, vending machines, the machine room, a door opening and closing, the beep of our security tags, people talking from a certain distance away, lots of different things. I mean, it was a front and back page worksheet, so there were quite a few things we had to find, and like I said, it took up almost the whole time. But it was pretty cool. We had these huge bags, the porta brace with like the mobile little mixer inside it, and then we were carrying around these, you got your huge headphones, and then like your big mic and everything. So it was a lot of fun. I used the shotgun mic. I didn't get a chance. Well, I listened through the parabolic mic once, but I didn't actually use it. But I used the shotgun mic. We traded off and everything. And then we went on break, and we came back, and we used one of the actual, like, the binaural mics. And we used the SASP, S-A-S-S-P microphone. I can't remember who made it. But that one was weird. Like, it's like this big, almost triangle looking, like, not triangle. What's the shape I'm looking for? Trapezoid shape, I think. It's like a rectangle, but then the sides are angled in. So it's like a triangle, but extended out. I don't know my shapes anymore. Don't make fun of me. But anyways, I had the 2 mics on the left and the right, and we just went outside, and all 4 of us took a turn listening to traffic going by and just each other talking. And the thing was trippy too, because if you held it upright, it was like your normal left and right. But if you turned it upside down, those channels were kind of reversed. Like, they weren't reversed, but you were hearing them in reverse because of the sides of the mic that it was picking up sound. So like, you could like turn the thing upside down, and you'd have people talking to your left, but that you would actually hear them from the right, because that's how they would come through the mic, and it was trippy. But that was pretty cool. So that was today's lab and lecture. So month 4. or month 5, days 8 and 9. I think this is the video for those two. I think that's what it is. Gosh, I can't remember. See, that's a problem. When I take breaks from making these videos, I forget. So yeah, it's month 5, days 8 and 9. That's going to be video number 63. Thanks for tuning in and listening about my experiences here. The microphones class is actually pretty cool. I ended up getting, by the way, they posted grades from our first midterm, well, I guess the only midterm, right? But from the first test for microphones and theory, I was really worried about it, but I ended up getting a 94. Thank God, you know, like it was, God, I was nervous, but I got a 94, so no worries. It's cool. I got 100 on the first practical, and I also got a 100 on the homeworks. So I am pretty excited about that. Hopefully I don't get too many points taken off for having it turned in late the second homework. And I'm definitely going to get the third homework, by the way, which I might as well keep going. I'm not trying to talk for too long. But the homework, I guess I'll touch more on it next time too. But basically we have $60,000 and we have to pick out a mic locker. So we have to use all $60,000. We have to have a certain amount of dynamics, vintage, ribbons, etc. And we have to use all of the money, and then we have to tell why we picked whatever microphones. So as I get into that, we'll talk about it and everything. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I hope you're having a good day, or night, morning, or evening, whenever you're watching. Because I had a pretty good day today. I hope you are too. So for another day at Full Sail, I was successful getting the house cleaned up for when Mina gets here. I got this cool little station right here. I might as well show you. This is my other MacBook here, and that has Sibelius 5, and as you can see I got my broken MIDI keyboard. It's not really broken, but like some of the keys don't work because I spilled water on it. But basically this is where I write all my drumline music, because I have Sibelius 5 and virtual drumline actually works on that computer. So that's the computer that I use to write drumline music, or just drum music in general. And I just set this up today. I thought the tripod behind it made it look a little bit like a canvas, and like, you know, when you write a piece of music, it's like a work of art. So it kind of clicked. But anyway, I'll catch you tomorrow after a nice day of recording consoles. Should be pretty fun. So I will see you then. Good night.